Audience already come in. Greetings, everybody! Welcome to Zelda Ace Attorney thing. Hope you're ready for some horrible voice acting from yours truly. So, a YouTube video popped up in my recommended, and I watched a little bit of it. And it was for this game, this ROM hack, and I was like, I'm not going to watch this, because I want to play this myself. But here we are. Ace Attorney meets Legend of Zelda. Which is something I didn't think would ever happen, or it's not something I ever conceived of, but someone did it. The game autosave. It's quiet. Too quiet. Do you think they forgot? Forget a royal visitation? No one could make such a blunder, princess. Well, I guess I should just go in then. Gasp. Yo, it's murder. See, I knew this already. Malon murdered Talon. And Zelda caught it. Hey, Michael R., how you doing? Defended lobby number 3. Now I have to figure out a voice deep link. I should just make it myself. Oh. Case. Malon's loving father. Right. I think after so many years of doing this, I'd be used to the stress. Why am I shaking? Gah. Yeah, this is a lot worse when it's your friend's life on the line. Come on, gotta look professional. Can't see you like this. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Hey, you over there. Huh? What is it, attorney? The trial isn't starting yet. But it will soon, right? You happen to know where my client, or why my client isn't here yet. I didn't get to speak much with her, and when she was arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now. Wahaha! You weren't the only one with the idea. I believe she is currently in the prosecutor's lobby. He wanted to talk to her as well. What? What's up with this guy? He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this. Not to worry, she will definitely be here before the trial. Great. It'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. Well, there's nothing I can do but wait. Sometime later. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her? Ah. See, there she is. No need to get all worked up. Is something wrong? Did I hear her shouting? Much for looking professional. No. Don't worry. Everything's fine. This is Malon. Ever since we met in Hyrule Castle Town all those years ago, we've been great friends. I did a blunder. It's like almost infuriating. Because it's just kind of off. so I'm not getting sidetracked checking on something. Okie dokie. Fixed. Right, back to the game. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared to deeply about her father. If everything's fine, why do you look so worried? Well, how'd the investigation go? Did you find anything? Why does she have pink in her eyes? Yes, the investigation. I found tons of, groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag. Oh, hey, Carbon, how you doing? What did the prosecutor want from you, anyway? Well, it was mostly just threats. He kept explaining in detail what'll happen to me if I'm found guilty. It doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. Probably just did it so we wouldn't have as much time to talk. You believe me, right? I didn't do it. I'd never. Of course I believe you. Well, I'm sad. Why are you sad? Of course I believe you. My Steam Deck? No! What kind of not working? Like not turning on? Not running things? That's the former. Although, I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. What's that you've got there? Oh, this is a photograph of Father I carry around. Hey, I can't believe he's gone. Dude, I bet Epona did it. Buttons aren't working properly. Oh. That's not a great thing to have to fix. Sound like a switch where you could just get new controllers and plug it in. Is this a part? It's all formed, right? It's one unit. You just send Epona to the glue factory now. Do everybody proper justice. I can't believe he's gone. No one's thinking about cheer her up right now. You're not very good at handling emotional clients. Hey, you know, that photograph could really be useful in the trial. Oh, how so? Oh, well, you look so happy together. And presented it to show that you two had a great relationship. You really think so? Ah, well, here you go then. Nice. Marin's photograph. Marin is a different character. At least I'll be walking in there with something other than my badge. Wait, we shouldn't just be idly chatting. Anyway, how much time left? I know sort of talk about but could you tell me what actually happened? Hey Crafty, how you doing? I don't stand much a chance if I don't know your version of the story. So, me down here. Alright. The trial is starting. Defendant, attorney, please enter the courtroom at once. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. Alright. Everything will be fine. The prosecutor has been playing me for a fool since this began. Sooner or later, his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside. My name is Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. I've won my fair share of cases, lost some too. But this one's personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Malin's life, I keep wanting to say Marin. I've got to find out who did this to Talon. Wow, a nerd. Oh, hi, Tac. Of course this is a thing. People just have an insane imagination to make this. I'm so kind and deserve this. I need to do him justice. I can't lose this. My money's on Epona. Mainly because I don't like her. Yo, it's Ganon! Link, you failed at killing him. Court is now in session for the trial of Malin of Lon Lon Ranch. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Dragmire. I sincerely doubt that. What were they thinking, pitting me against some pathetic kid? Ah! Pathetic kid? What gives you the... That's smirk! Oh my god. Why is Lincoln blue? Because this is Ace Attorney, and Phoenix Wright wears blue. I don't know. Feel your tongue. You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. This is actually just... I love it. This is amazing. Dude, he fucking finger waggled. This is actually an Ace Attorney game. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you've committed. Are the cases original, or are they the same for each attorney? I have no idea. So the current setting of this case is Talon is dead, Marin is in the room with the weapon in her hand, seemingly unconscious. Has that happened in Ace Attorney? Because I have not played all of them. Music is a smidge loud. I don't think I can fix that. Oh, I guess I can fix the game audio. Is that better? I should maybe turn myself down a little bit. I'm kind of peeking into the red. Yeah, that was better. Never played them either. Okay. I played the first one all the way through, and I don't recall a case like this. But all of them do basically involve this person is accused of murdering somebody else, but then it wasn't them. So in that regard, I'd assume the original trilogy. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think I did the first game in the original trilogy. Okay. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? Now, this court is no place to be exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems ready as well, let's hear their opening statement. Oh my god. The opening statement shall also be the closing one. The girl did it, it's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood. All so she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you, you greedy little rat? Oh, there's an Anoku! Wait, hold on. There is some messed up lore here. Why is there a hateful little creature here? Your Honor, I can't allow this man to verbally abuse my defendant like this. Oh! That finger waggle is killing me. She committed murder, kid. She deserves every bit of scorn she gets. I do believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss. Ugh. I assure you, old man. I love how animated he is. Also, his fingers would be long. Actually, no, I think that makes sense. Yeah, Ganon has some really big hands. You've played Aviary Attorney, right? Once you see all the damning evidence. Who is this guy? How can he speak to the judge like that? Ganondorf Dragmire. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man until now. Stories I've heard about him must be true. A boorish barbarian of a man hailing from the Gerudo province. Apparently he prides himself on the nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades. All while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. Oh, nice. Link is animated too. I thought hope so. heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. Nice. He's got the Phoenix Wright sweating. Perfect. Definitely has that look. And at the very least, who wears full armor to court? Probably harder to color him. Very well. Please present your case to the court. You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll let the detective present the basics. Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand. Well, here we go, the first battle. I know Impa, she's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once. He shows that competent of a— whoa! Nice trench coat. Alright. Alright, state your name and whatever it is you pretend to do. You never change, do you, prosecutor? Any possible change would be for the worse. Now, stop wasting time. Name and occupation. So I mean. Oh man. Very well. I'm Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force Homicide Division. True for now, at least. What? Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking. You were the one assigned to this case, so you know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom? You can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement. I suppose I can do the prosecutor's job for him this time, for the sake of an unbiased look. Please, go ahead, detective. The incident happened early yesterday morning in Lon Lon Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of Castletown. The current— Does she have a knife? Why does she bring a knife to court? Oh, no, this does make sense. People bring weapons all the time in the Ace Attorney games. The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house. A tragic loss for our kingdom, for sure. I have seen the man around Castletown a number of times delivering goods. Quite. Wait, I think Impa is actually supposed to be British. Isn't it a very British thing to just say quite like that? The owner is a rather important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business. Official business? What kind? As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it's operating as it should, and as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation to the ranch every year. I see. A scheduled annual visit. Good to you, detective. When the Sheikah Force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out. That means he was still alive when the guards were there. If he was still bleeding out. Next to him lay his daughter, Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her, and she was deemed the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened. Very nice and succinct. Keep that up and perhaps you'll keep your job. Oh, I don't think the good detective here has to worry much about that, given she is the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of the detectives herself on a case like this? With the other detectives unavailable? That would be because I have been assigned this case by order of the King of Hyrule himself. The King himself assigned you? That doesn't happen very often, does it? You are correct, Your Honor. Not usually involved in fieldwork like this. This time, however, the King felt it necessary because of who was involved. Because, yeah, Zelda discovered the body, I guess. Who is involved? Is the death of the ranch worker really such a concern for the King? Well, as I said, Lon Lon Ranch is a very important supply of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. I imagine the King would wanted the top investigators on the job because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene. Order! I will have order! The royal princess Zelda witnessed the crime. Having to steal a sub from the fridge, you can't do that. Alright, all we have is ham and cheese. So enjoy your ham and cheese, and thanks for the redemption. Huh, there you have it. This case rides on the princess's own words. I doubt it would be to doubt your own royalty. I doubt it would be to doubt your own royalty? What? Did I just, like, read that horribly wrong? Ooh, that's a lot of games. I comb through mine every now and then and get rid of things. But yeah, welcome back, Hellfire. Thank you for using the redemption. This is bad. I can't really object to that. Very well. Very well. The princess is testifying today. It's better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly why the defendant was arrested. He kind of already went over that. Tell if yet to be released. That is like half of mine. Witness testimony. Is that Hyrulean? Reason for the arrest. Ah, okay, here we go. It is with regret that I agree with Dragmire. All the evidence points towards the girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. There was only 3 people on the ranch: the victim, the defendant, and a worker who had an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out on the floor. And if he was bleeding out, that means he wasn't dead, which means you guys fucked up. I think like half of my wish list is unreleased things. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon, without a doubt. That's what was used to kill the victim. She seems like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. Alright, so now I need to counter you with evidence. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pictures of evidence to the court. Or pieces of evidence. First, I have the autopsy report performed by the Crown's top coroner. Autopsy report added. The poacher saw. Here is what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hands. To make sure we have the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. It's the bomber's notebook. Kind of. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. This matches the item we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. That does sound quite compelling. This must have been a truly terrifying scene. Dying from a wound made by a weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps to prove the defendant's viciousness. Fucking smirk. Oh my god. At this rate, they're going to paint Mound as some kind of heartless monster. There's one more thing I feel I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments. Of course. Of course, the business must go on. At night? Is this really necessary to enter into evidence, though? Just reskin the objection. Funk with these models. The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally. What do you take us for? Even though the workers handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we cracked all of the boxes open to check what was inside. In the end, it did turn out to only be milk bottles, so we sent them through. Very well. Thank you. Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, detective. Your detective thoroughness is what I was about to say. So, what happens now? Well, this is where I step in and perform the cross-examination. Ah, great. How does that work? Huh? Could you explain what you're going to be doing? Can't hurt to go over this again. I think I know what I'm doing. I've played an Ace Attorney game before. The witness will repeat her testimony, and I'll be able to scroll back and forth through the visual segments by pressing A and B, or using the stick. You'll just repeat as many times as you want? That's right. I have to consider every little detail, can't miss a thing. And if I want more info about something, I can use L or Z to press the statement and ask the witness a question. Grill them for info. Yep. Since witnesses come up with an answer on the spot, if they're lying, prompting for more info can make them slip up. Most importantly, though, if I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press R and bring up the court record. The court record is basically a list of all the evidence, right? Yeah. Okay. I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know how I was doing it. So I'm glad I did that. I didn't know what buttons I would need. Yes, I can open it at any time. Let me recheck facts like this. Epona. Surely it's not the evil-looking... I don't know what that guy's name is in this game. In Ocarina of Time. Is it Ingo? Autopsy report. Deep, irregular wound. Made of sharp metal object. Victim died from blood loss. No later than 8 a.m. On her hands, clean of blood. As in you've cleaned off the blood? Yeah, Ingo, okay. So, this is 2 days old. So it happened on the 16th, okay. Cow nose rings. I guess the important information is on the left? Post pounders. Where's the milk left at the ranch a little while after the crime scene? 59. Damn, he's old. Link is probably about the same age then. After choosing the contradicting item, I can see up, raise an objection, and present my doubts to the court. Oh, and I can not only present the evidence, but profiles as well. Profiles. The court record contains a list of all the people involved, too. I can switch to... I really figured that out. If I need to review what's been said, I can hit start to read the messages. That's what the history button is. I see, that makes sense. Is the defense done whispering? Aha, sorry. If he's so upset about it, why does he just... why doesn't he just press C right to skip ahead? The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness. But waste of time. The finger waggle is killing me. Also that grin, holy shit. I sincerely hope you're not implying what standard court procedure is. Oh, standard court procedure is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmire. In any case, we're ready. Defense, please begin the cross-examination. I think I want to probably present the picture first. Reason for the arrest. Okay, let's see. You know, I'll just immediately, do this. Wait. Oh, I need to see up it. Huh? This evidence reveals a clear contradiction in your testimony, Your Honor. How does that work? No shaking anything clear here. Yeah, okay, lost life. But the only thing here is your incompetence. Yeah, this must be on the wrong track. Anywho, okay. I think you can press everything. But, all the evidence points to her. Look inside the manor. Only 3 people there. Is that unconscious? Hold it! Malin fainted? Correct. We couldn't get her to wake for a long time. Eventually, we decided to administer a healing fairy so she could be questioned. I guess finding a body was just that much of a shock, huh? Huh! Probably just pretending, trying to make it look like she really found the body. In any event... Why did you add that? She sure is. We've known each other for years. He's so smug about it. Yet she murdered her father in cold blood. How curious. Perhaps you're just bad judges of character, both of you. No way. Just give me some time and I'm going to prove it. Okay. Do you see anything wrong yet? Oh, this is where it gives me a hint. Well, it's usually difficult to find anything wrong with basic facts of the case. That said, I do think I saw one small thing. Really? That's great. It sure is, because I've got to poke all of the holes I can find before the princess gets here. And I've already done that one. Try this. Objection. Nope. You get a statement, Your Honor. What do I think of it? I have evidence here that this is not correct. Hello, wait, what? He's an attorney now? Yes, he is. Don't listen to him. Wrong place. Don't listen to him, Judge. This evidence has nothing to do with what's being discussed. Oh, don't worry, I do that. Attorneys always seem to ask what I think when they have no idea what they're talking about. Right. This is the problem that I've had with Ace Attorney games in the past, is I'm simply a little bit ahead of what the game wants me to present. Oh, piss. I guess I'll just press everything until something weird is said. What makes you think she's the culprit? Jeez! She's just about to tell you, keep quiet and listen. Right, sorry. Indeed, as I was saying. Okay. You determined the murder definitely took place. Hold it! Tell me about that. And just how did you know that? It's quite simple. There was no blood found anywhere else. Had the victim been attacked at some other location, we'd expect a trail leading to the scene. Did the killer just cleaned it all up? Certainly not. The path to the ranch house at Lon Lon Ranch is not paved in any way. Getting blood off the ground would require disturbing the soil. Naturally, we found nothing of the sort. Bah. There wouldn't have been enough time to pull that off anyway. How do you know? Likely true. Okay, it sounds like the location of the crime scene is pretty firm, but I'm not giving up yet. 3 people. Tell me about this other person. What is his alibi? 3 people, you say? Yes, it'd have to be Mr. Ingo. Let me stop you before you start getting too excited. If you had listened to the rest of what the detective said, you'd notice she mentioned an alibi. Indeed. Pretty certain that the ranch worker couldn't... Pretty sure the ranch worker couldn't have been involved. Well... what is his alibi then? You might remember that I brought up some outgoing milk shipments. Well, the worker Ingo was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning and was busy preparing the shipments after that. Is that so? Really, he could have gotten away from that for one real quick murder. I didn't quite read that correctly. Really, it's attorney. It says odd or kind of interesting fan game mod they have made. It is very interesting. This wouldn't just be a quick little murder, as you so crudely put it. He'd have to have taken steps to hide his involvement too. There was definitely not enough time for that. Unfortunately, I agree. Preparing shipment is a lot of work. To have to milk all the cows, clean all the bottles, pour all the milk out, and arrange them into the crates, and finally load it into the wagon. Usually I had to do it all together with Father to finish before the courier arrived. The shipments were already ready when we arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were already fully loaded with milk bottles. This Ingo was able to do all the work of 2 people on his own. Isn't that a bit odd? Odd or not, he evidently did just that. Clearly, he's a man dedicated to his job. Or perhaps the girl and her father are just very inefficient. This whole thing seems awfully suspicious if you ask me, but I guess I have nothing to dispute it with. Console. Ah, that's the... okay. I do wonder if this is being cut off. I don't think it is. This is also a general... This is like if Hyrule has an actual slot system. If I'm not mistaken, and this is heavily inspired by Ace Attorney, I believe the legal system in those games is some kind of combination between US legal systems and Japanese legal systems. I present my badge. Let's see. Unconscious in front of the body. Pulling the weapon. Hey, yep. I'm so sure of this. I saw it with my own eyes. Look at the autopsy report. Deep irregular wounds made with sharp metal objects. The saw was the only sharp implement in the ranch house that could produce. Ah! That's probably a contradiction. Rake. Yeah, rake or garden hoe. Hammer, depending if it has a claw on the back. There's knives. Yeah, okay, there's a contradiction right there. The saw is the only sharp implement in the ranch that could produce such a wound. I've already mentioned, we looked closely at all the other sharp things on the ranch. None had recent blood on them. It doesn't necessarily mean that the saw was a murder weapon. Maybe the real culprit hid the real one. Oh yeah? Prove it then, show us the real murder weapon. Well, I definitely don't have any way to do that. Still, something bothers me about the saw. So you have nothing? What a waste of time. So I'm assuming this is I have pressed everything. So the only thing that bothers me is the whole clean of blood thing. Huh. This seems like a fairly large oversight. Okay, so that bothered me when I read it, but in the opening cutscene, there was 100% blood on the saw. So I thought it was just an error. I just want to make sure of something. The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene. That is correct. That's strange, considering how much the victim bled out and how deep his wound was. Why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon? Ah, is that all you have? Huh? Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation for why the saw is clean. Behold, evidence that we withheld. The cloth that was found... This cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. As you can plainly see, it's stained with blood. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement. Objection. If Malin was trying to hide her involvement, why didn't she just leave the crime scene? Bah. Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Unfortunately for her, it just so happened to be that the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off and pretended to faint to make it look like she'd just stumbled on the scene. Young lady, things are not looking very good for you right now. I'm hearing the original was a satire, Jack. Oh, The court accepts the bloody plot into evidence. So what's the story with this cloth? Well, I was doing a final check around the ranch and I noticed that a part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. Not entirely sure when that happened, but sometimes one of the horses just gets a bit rowdy. I bet it was... See, it's Epona! She fucking did it. You know? Right. Anyway, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingo about it, so I tried to cut up a new rail by myself to patch it up. But then the saw slipped and I cut my own hand open. My goodness, are you okay? Well, it wasn't that bad. It did bleed quite a lot, though, so I used the cloth to quickly bandage the wound. I was actually going into the ranch house to ask for Father to help me with the fence. Ah, a likely story. And impossible to verify now, of course. The Shikafors had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of the supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit. She's one cunning woman. She knew that would explain a sudden lack of any wound on her hand. Oh-ho. Yeah, why, yes, fairies are wonderful. Just the other day, I slammed my hand with the gavel, and one took the pain off immediately. Great. I'm glad to know they're used for such important things. But, dang it, too bad there's no way to tell whose blood is on the cloth. What a shame. I do believe this matter has been settled. I'm ready to call my next witness. Uh-oh. Is this all I can get out of her? You served your purpose, Sheikah. Be gone. Fine. But you had best treat Her Highness with respect, or I'll see to it that you spend the night in the dungeons. You don't presume to threaten me, Sheikah. A night of darkness and solitude would be nothing but comfort for me. Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with lit candles for the occasion. They're glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble. Order, order. I'm sure we'll treat the princess with utmost respect. You may step down, detective. This case has already made me weary with all this pointless jabber. The time is right to deal the final blow. I call Her Highness Princess Zelda of Hyrule to the stand. Link! Wait, she's also British. Is something the matter? Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden? Ah, Your Highness. Your Highness. I believe we're all just a bit uncertain on how to proceed. It is quite an honor to have such an esteemed guest in these halls. Bah. In the face of the law, the princess is no different from a peasant. Name and occupation, now. The prosecution will behave. I will not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess. Derogatory? I simply wish not to waste any more time. We must employ proper procedure. Oh man. It is alright, Detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. In the eyes of the law, we are all equals. On the stand, I am just another witness. I should not be getting any special treatment. Very admirable, Your Highness. We can all rest easy knowing that Hyrule is destined to have such a wise monarch in its future. Yes, indeed. I eagerly await the day when our next ruler takes the throne and reshapes the kingdom in their image. You flatter me, Prosecutor. Now then, I believe I was asked for my name and occupation. I am Zelda, current Princess of Hyrule and heir apparent to the throne. Marvelous, Your Highness. Marvelous, Your Highness. Before we begin, I would just like to know, why were you at Lon Lon Ranch to witness this terrible incident? Ah, it's simple, really. Lon Lon Ranch is Hyrule Castle Town's biggest food supplier. Not only that, but the ranch also equips Hyrule's Royal Guard with the finest of horses. Probably the only horses you have. Every year, the royal family makes a visit as a gesture of goodwill and to ensure the quality of the seeds. Wow, I didn't know your horses were used by the Royal Guard. Yep. We work hard every year to make sure they're in the best condition, the best possible condition. Father loved to boast about it to other ranch owners. Ah, knowing talent, I'm sure he did. How unfortunate the ranch may no longer meet the crown's high standards under new management. The royal family has a backup, I trust. We're looking for one. Naturally, those standards are quite high. Yes, of course. Now then, please describe what you saw the day of the incident. Very well. Here we go. Here I go. The scene behind the door. I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8 AM, accompanied by my loyal guard. I remember being surprised at how... There's already a contradiction. Oh, wait. No, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking that the delivery happened at 8 AM. Which wouldn't have made sense for them to have gotten there and whatnot, okay. I remember being quite surprised. I remember being surprised at how quiet everything was. There was nobody there to welcome us. I could sense that something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. The room was mostly empty. There was a table with some kind of crystal bottle on top of it. But in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unraveling. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with the saw she was holding. That's not correct. I was overcome with fear that I screamed. I will never forget what I saw that day. I heard that Talon and his daughter were incredibly kind. I cannot believe she would commit such a horrible violence. Yeah, I agree. I guess the photo would just back that up. What? Oh my, you saw the very moment the victim was killed? Uh. There you go. Decisive testimony. As there is no need to doubt the princess's statement, I call for the judge to make the ruling right away. No, I get to cross-examine. Hey now, hold on. I didn't get to cross-examine the witness yet. There's no need. You haven't, fool, because there's no need. Did you not hear one word of what she said? What I said? Didn't you just say that we should follow all procedures and treat the princess like any other witness? This is the defense's right. You complete? I believe the defense has a point. They do have every right to perform a cross-examination, no matter how what? No matter who is testifying. I was quite looking forward to this part myself. I have only ever read about court proceedings in the Royal Library. That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusations toward the princess. Is that clear? Naturally, Your Honor. It is British, so spelling honor with a U. How am I going to cross-examine a princess? This isn't going to end well. Just simply press every detail. Not into the prosecutor. That seemed like a rather intense outburst. Well, I do have a guess. Oh? Because of the princess's statements, it's possible that Dragmire didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony with her yet. That might mean that this testimony was a surprise even to him. That could be my chance. This could be my chance. Before we begin, there is just one thing that caught my attention. I believe the princess mentioned seeing some kind of glass bottle at the crime scene. That would be this, I presume. Why do you have it? Why, yes, that's exactly it. What is that? Oh, that's a bottle of perfume that my father intended to gift to Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out of town to get it at the last moment. We didn't know that the princess was coming. We didn't know that the princess was coming instead of the king only until about 2 hours before the visitation. Oh, how thoughtful. He really did not need to bother himself so. As fascinating as it all is, the prosecution doesn't believe it's relevant to the case. Objection! I do. It's good to have a full picture of the crime scene. The defense requests the bottle be accepted into evidence. Bah! Desperate to latch onto every little thing, aren't you? Whatever, you can add it to the evidence if it'll make you happy. No skin off my teeth. Question, why is Ganondorf's name Dragmire? That's his name. I don't know if it's in all of the games, but Ganondorf Dragmire is his full name. In that case... Wrong voice. In that case, the court accepts this bottle into evidence. Perfume bottles added to the court record. Now then, defense, begin your cross-examination. Chance before the phone. Hey, Zelda. Interesting. I would have thought Zelda would have been around our age. That's his last name. Oh, I see. That makes sense why it doesn't, like, actually appear anywhere. Begin your examination. Alright. Time to press everything. Cross-examination. Scene behind the door. How did you know what time it was? If these guards were with Her Highness, why were they not called as witnesses? We did question the guard. We did question the guards, naturally. Apparently, they didn't get to see anything relevant. I was the only one to enter the crime scene. After seeing what was inside, I stood guard and insisted that no one be allowed inside until the Sheikah force arrived. I have read that preserving the scene is vital. Quite correct. I'm sure the guards were absolutely thrilled with this order. Please proceed, witness. Okay. Remember being surprised at how quiet everything was? There was nobody there to welcome us. Oh! Ingo should have been there loading the bottles. But I don't think I have a way to contradict that. Unless I could do the crates? Have you conducted these royal visitations in the past, Your Highness? No. This is my first one. Up until last year, my father was always the one to visit Lon Lon Ranch. However, he decided I had to start preparing for all the royal duties that await me, and so I was to do it this time. Then how did you know there should have been people there to visit you? You will doubtlessly perform admirably as ruler when the time comes. What happened when you got to the ranch house? Something's wrong, open the door, inside. And what then? Stop interrupting, let me get to the point. A defense? I believe I was clear about not badgering the witness. Rat, need to calm down. Table simply table. Probably don't need to press this, but you paid attention to something like that after seeing a murder princess? Well, I spent a rather long time there waiting for the Sheikah force to arrive. Ah, I see. Okay. Plus, that bottle was quite beautiful. It just stood out. Okay. In front of the table was a terrifying scene. Yeah, this is definitely wrong. You were there the exact time of the murder, Your Highness? That is correct. That's impossible, you're lying. The defendant will curb her outbursts. You're addressing royalty. This is really bad. What now? Accuse Zelda of the crime! I'm pretty sure this would just game over me immediately. Where were the victim and the defendant at this time? The ranch owner was in front of the table, and was directly across from the entrance door. The defendant was right in front of him, and quickly fainted after her attack. A large pool of blood started forming on where the victim was. I had a rather good view of the whole scene. Right. It is as unfortunate as it is fortunate that you could see the whole thing in such detail. Now, please continue. There's also a level of irony where we watched the whole scene of her walking in and seeing an unconscious Malin and a dead or dying Talon. So I know that line is wrong. She did not watch it happen. Yeah, please continue. She has something else. Ask about Zelda of the crime. Ask about what was outside. Are you sure there wasn't anyone else at the ranch, Your Highness? No, the place looked empty. Although I did later see a worker pull up a loaded wagon when the courier came asking about milk shipments. It caused a little bit of a scene when the Sheikah force started inspecting it. That worker must have been somewhere else on the ranch, I suppose. The ranch is pretty large. Said worker was inside a building on the other side. It's quite understandable she wouldn't have seen him until later. Drat. This really doesn't give me a whole lot to work with. Something else? I can just repeat it. Nope, that's enough. Next. I was overcome with fear that I screamed. I'll never forget what I saw that day. Only there's much to... Are you sure you got a good look? Then, Your You didn't look away in panic. The princess is very brave to take control of the situation the way she did. There's no need to doubt what she saw. Yes, I suppose what she did was admirable. Only I'd arrived earlier. Your Highness, don't blame yourself for this. If you'd arrived earlier, you could have been the one that got attacked. Ah. So you would have lashed out at anyone trying to stop you, huh? Despicable. That's not what she meant. And you know it. Princess, please go on. Very well. I heard Talon and his daughter were incredibly kind. I cannot believe it. I don't think there's much to press here. Trust your heart, Your Highness. You know Malin didn't do this. What nonsense! Her heart? What did her organs have to do with anything? Oh, of course, evidence and testimony be damned. Just because we feel the defendant must be innocent. Oh, well, if you're sure, then I declare today's verdict. You gone senile, old man? That was a joke! Much like the arguments the defense has been presenting. I can't believe the princess would lie like this. Yeah, it really is shocking. You don't believe her, right? Even if she's the princess, it means nothing. I didn't do it. That's your authority or your best friend. I'll need something very concrete to disprove what the princess is saying. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know... So, obviously, it is... this. No, this. Because that's just straight up wrong. But... should I just present the saw again because it's clean? Do I present the picture now? Did she say what time she got there? Oh, okay, yeah, this proves that she's lying. Since he died no later than 8, and she arrived a little bit after 8. Your Honor, Your Highness, I believe I found something that doesn't quite match up with the facts. How dare you question object? Will you let the defense speak, prosecute? You will let the defense speak, prosecutor. I think I see why he so desperately wanted to present this cross-examination now. Your Highness, you stated that you arrived at the ranch shortly after 8 a.m., correct? Yes, the visit was scheduled for 8:30 exactly, but we were quite a bit early. I see. That makes something you mentioned quite impossible. As stated by the autopsy report, the victim died before 8 a.m. You couldn't have seen the defendant attack the ranch owner when you arrived, because the victim was already dead by then. No! Here's an updated autopsy report that just came in this morning. And it says that the victim did die within reason for the witness to have seen it. That 100% happened. I don't remember which case it was, but that did happen, and that was bullshit. Order! Order! Yes! You've really caught her in a lie. Your Highness, what is the meaning of this? While I wholeheartedly respect and serve the crown, I will nonetheless not tolerate lies in my court. I have not lied, I suppose I did not see the exact moment it happened, as I only thought I did. Princess, this is a matter of life and death. I definitely saw the defendant there, along with the body. There's no one else who could have done it. I remember all the other details correctly. The body's on the floor, the pool of blood. You have to believe me. Perhaps it'll be best if Her Highness revises her testimony. That's not good. There's still not enough evidence to overturn this testimony. I'll find something else, or this case will be over. Ah, I need to listen to it again. What I actually saw. I am sorry for embellishing the truth a little bit. I did not see the actual moment of the attack, but it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. Miss Mal and her father were the only ones to see the crime, so she must be the culprit. Okay. Does this represent the bottle and say, hey, he wasn't there? So you only saw the aftermath, not the actual crime being committed. Very well. Hopefully there are no issues in your testimony this time. Defense, it's your time for your cross-examination. Naturally, Your Honor. Dragmire still looks pretty angry. I didn't expect it to be such a blatant contradiction to pop up. If I could just find another one like that, the princess' testimony will become completely untrustworthy in the eyes of the judge. Is this where I say Ingo was there? For embellishing the truth. I did not see the actual attack at the moment of the attack. It had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. I mean, yeah. What makes you so sure it had to have happened there? And you mean so sure of that, Princess? Well, when I entered the ranch house, the victim still had the murder weapon embedded in his body. Okay. It's obvious what that means, is it not? The killer did not even have enough time to hide the weapon. Yes, might not have seen the murder firsthand, but I must have been very close to doing so. Oh my. It seems like a very important detail. I think it would be advisable for Her Highness to amend her testimony. Certainly, Your Honor. Okay, this could be... So, what would that be? Would it just be the saw? Found in Malon's hands? Probably. Interesting. He's pogging. Doesn't look very happy about this development, does he? Thinking about it, I might just know why. I think you do. This is getting... Let's see, the murder weapon was objection. I'm going to try this. Objection! I believe I found another reason to doubt the witness's words. And it seems the prosecution sees what I'm getting at here. There was a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. The prosecution had argued before that it was used to wipe the saw clean. If the princess saw the saw lodged into the saw, Talon's body, and the crime scene was left intact, then it couldn't have been wiped. Well, Prosecutor Dragmire, care to explain? This is most perplexing. Your Highness, are you sure that's what you saw? Well, maybe the princess decided to pull the saw out in a valiant yet futile attempt to save the victim. And then wipe the blade clean? Well, that would be almost like framing the defendant. Of course I did no such thing. I made sure the crime scene stayed intact. Which also means you're lying, because they found it in her hand. I guess I must have made up a memory. I saw the saw sticking out of Mr. Talon as well. Oh! Nobody has words. You idiotic girl. Oh. Do you even realize what you've done through your bumbling? I'm sorry. I was just so excited to stand as a witness in court just this once. Whenever I try telling my father about anything, he always seems so disinterested. Just this once, I wanted to feel listened to. Thanks for the trauma dump, Zelda. It is clear that she did it. I just wanted to play a larger part in her capture. I am sorry for the trouble I have caused you all. This also happened in one of the Ace Attorney games, didn't it? Where a witness just kept lying because they wanted to feel important. Your Highness, the court is no place for silly games. As it stands, I'm afraid we will have to strike your statements from the court record completely. Yes, I did it. The prosecution... I accidentally skipped that dialogue because I was messing with my C-stick. Has lost their key witness. No, please, wait, I have more to say. I was wrong about the crime scene, but I still have not testified about what I saw afterwards. Ah. Why would we care about that? It's best that you leave and stop damaging my case with your idiocy. Idiocracy. His nose is really long. Even if you're not interested in my words, you might be interested in the evidence I found. Oh, what? Huh? Evidence? Of course. While the Sheikah Force investigated inside the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own. Sheikah? Do you know about this? No. Of course I did. You did? I'll have your head for this. Order. What is the meaning of this, detective? Why have you withheld this from the court? It's quite simple. The princess specifically requested to present her findings on her own. What? And you agreed to this? This court is not some playground where children decide when evidence... Pot, meat, kettle. You have pulled out 2 different pieces of evidence and presented it when it has been convenient. Where evidence should be presented just because they have a crown. He's been rude about it, but I can't help but agree with Dragmire on this one. Also, I don't really buy this story. There's no way Impa would have allowed this. Believe me, I wasn't thrilled with the request either. However, after seeing the evidence in question, I didn't think it would be all important in the case. Thus, I let the princess have her fun. Damn. This is highly irregular. I'm not sure how to feel about this, prosecutor. Bah, naturally I object to this nonsense. If the detective thinks it's irrelevant, then it's probably just a waste of time. All the evidence points to the defendant. It's still clear that she did it, even without a witness at the scene. Yeah, but what about a motive? I see, defense. Please enter it. What do we do? We object to presenting the evidence, and Dragmire loses his key witness. If we object to presenting the... Plus, whatever the princess presents could be bad for our case, too. What should we do? So, should we agree with the prosecution? Well, on the other hand, we don't really have much to go on, and this could be our only lead left. Well, don't keep us waiting. Surely you won't throw away all the progress you've made thus far. I'm going to request it. This seems like the correct option. I really hope this is the right choice. The defense requests that the evidence be presented. What? While I agree that the situation is irregular, we should still examine all the evidence available. It would be silly to dismiss it as irrelevant without even seeing what it is. I do believe you have a point, defense. However, I must warn you, in order to admit this piece of evidence into the court record, the princess's statements that she found it must be admitted as testimony along with everything else she might say. Yes, Your Honor, I'm well aware. The defense wishes to give the princess just one more chance. Of all the idiotic, foolish... Order? Very well, then, Your Highness, please testify once more about the new piece of evidence you found during your own investigation. Thank you. I will not let you down this time. I promise. Princess should understand the gravity of the situation at hand now. I just hope the new evidence isn't damaging to our case. Witness testimony. My findings. Earlier testimony. Upon entering the ranch house, the defendant passed out in front of the victim, who was bleeding out. I stood guard at the entrance of the ranch house until the Sheikah arrived. Once the Sheikah started investigating the crime scene, I decided to take a look around the ranch. While I was walking near the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop to see where it was coming from. I followed the scent and found a burned-out fire near a small, nearly empty bottle of lamp oil. I, of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective. And here it is. The oil bottle I found. Oh. Is something wrong? Oh no, this might actually be completely irrelevant. Yes, well... Of course there is, foolish girl. That has nothing to do with anything. Your great finding is some random fire on the ranch. Please. What oh, but if he was burning something, then that means he couldn't have been packing the crates. What next? Are you going to declare every rake on the premise suspicious? Well, the prosecution will calm down. This is bad. Your Honor, despite the fact that this evidence might not seem to add anything at the moment, the defense still asserts its right to cross-examination. Some straws have been grasped. Why must you insist on this charade, defense? The princess has merely recounted the same view of the crime scene as the head detective. You haven't been able to find any contradictions in her statement. I believe there might be a way to tie the princess's new evidence to the case. Ridiculous. Regardless of what the prosecution thinks, the defense does have a right to a cross-examination. The court admits the oil bottle into evidence. I just really hope this isn't a complete waste of time, defense. For both your own sake and your client. I'm sure it's fine. Cross-examination. Don't mess with your C-stick. Mine findings. I'm sorry. I saw him pass out in front. He was bleeding out. Technically, that's wrong. Because if he was dead, he would not have been bleeding anymore. But I don't think that's what they're going for right now. Or at all. I stood guard until I arrived. To look around the ranch. No. Tell me a little bit more about your little look-see. Wait, you didn't just go home. Civilization was supposed to last a little last a lot longer. I was not expecting us back to the castle until much later. I came to the ranch to examine the horses, so I suppose I could at least do that in the meantime. How long did it take for she could arrive at the scene? It does not take very long to make a trip from Hyrule Castle Town to Lonron Ranch. I can't imagine it was more than 20 minutes. That is pretty fast, although I imagine the fact that the princess was involved helped speed it up. Low pokes, it would have been there in half the time. Nice. Running backwards, even. That's just because it's faster. Only going up hills, I think. Otherwise, I think it's side-hopping that's fastest. No, it is backwalking. And then if it's a slope, side-hopping is the fastest, I believe. I suppose it's no surprise, though. Hylian horses are naturally inferior to our fine Gerudo steeds. The Gerudo... the Gerudo... what? The Gerudo buy horses from our ranch, too, you... Just don't bother, he's trying to rile you up. Ah. I mean, that is a strange odor in the air. Tell me about that. What does it smell like? Oh, it was awful. A really terrible stench. Surely you don't mean to say that you found the smell of horse manure suspicious? I think she was too. Don't be ridiculous. The smell's not coming from the horses. Hey, tell me about the burned out oil. A fire, huh? Now let me remind you, defendants, that there is any number of reasons why a fire could have been there. You can still feel the cold grasp of death early in the morn. Princess, how long would you estimate the fire had been out before you found it? Ah, right. There was still smoke rising out of the ashes, so it must have been put out recently. Around the time of the crime. So someone had their breakfast there. I repeat, the fire is irrelevant. I think he's realized the same thing I did. Well, who was it? Who could have lit the fire anyway? It would have to have been... That should have been had to have. It would have had to have been the ranch worker who was putting the milk shipments together at the time. But if he was putting the shipments together, how did he light the fire and put it out? It was almost certainly him. If you really want to ask about his little barbecue, you might just get your wish soon. Doesn't sound like it was very appetizing. But without anything concrete to pin on him, he'll just be able to brush it off. So do I just present the crate? Because that's probably what I need to talk about. I occur to the bottle straight to the head detective. I'm gonna press that. You weren't confident on that. Right, and she allowed you to present it. Well, I was one to find it, and since I was going to trial anyway... Utter ridiculousness. Yes. You do something like this, Your Highness. You should make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Proper procedures exist for a reason. That's why I let the prosecution present evidence whenever the he feels like. Because that's just how these games work. Do you ever have evidence the prosecution doesn't know about an Ace Attorney? Like, do you ever surprise them with something? I don't think you do. Yes, I understand. Okay. Do you have any idea why there would have been a fire at the ranch that day? No, it is pretty odd. And it sounds like it's definitely worth looking into. Although it'll be hard to link it to the crime in any way. I'm pretty sure... Alright, so assuming Ingo actually did do it, I would assume that the reason he did it was to burn his clothing, because they had been covered in blood. He used a very small melee weapon to hack into Talon, so he had been covered in blood. So he had just simply needed to... He just simply disposed of his clothes. As for Malin, I would assume she probably took the saw out of Talon and passed out at about the same time. Well, no, wait. No, because the saw was also clean. Oh! I see. So this is probably a point later. Because there's only one wood saw on this, but since Ingo made it, there could have been two and he could have left one out. So what I'm thinking right now is, he killed Talon. I'm assuming Malin just walked in and passed out, and he just put the other saw in her hand while he disposed of his bloody clothes and the bloody saw. Or, no, because they said that Chica investigated them, so surely they wouldn't have missed a bloody saw in the crates of milk. Or maybe they did, who knows. Because the saw that Malin would have had would have been blood-free because she was trying to... Actually, no, it wouldn't have. Because she nicked herself with it. Maybe there is only one saw. I don't know. Just gonna stop theory crafting. Getting as much info as possible is my best bet. I think I've pressed everything that's relevant. Sure. Is there anything else in the room? Only the beautiful little crystal bottle I mentioned before. This is rather barren. Most of our things are on the top floors. Our downstairs room is mostly used for ranch business these days. And the occasional game. Ah, of course. Dad's famous Cucko game. The good old days. Is it dependent on reminiscing? We thought you could do that, but it depends behind bars. And I'm trying to distract myself from the fact that there's nothing to latch onto here. Tell me about that. Anything happened during that time? 20-minute window. No, not that I recall. The guards would occasionally protest and ask me to let them take over, but I held my stance. While commendable in theory, staying in the same room as a dangerous killer isn't very wise. But she woke up and lashed out at you. Sweet Hylia above! Ah! Thought didn't occur to me. Bah, of course not. Foolish girl. But the guards did stand close by. I would have been safe. Wonderful to see how much faith the princess has in our royal guard, as he clearly has none. Yes, of course I do. In any case... Let's see... Found a burned out fire. I will try presenting this. Nope, the music didn't change, and then my health appeared. Shit. know what the game is looking for. Other than... that's not on the list. I don't see how I don't see how this connects. Well, whatever. Nope. I don't know what it's looking for. Like, I think the idea here is that if Ingo was in the back of the ranch making himself breakfast, how did he load the cart? Oh, wait, don't I have... this... don't I have, like, a sales... no, I don't. That would have been this. Don't present that. I don't know if that's actually gonna... what do I need to do to make the connection? Yeah, it's worst case scenario, I just press literally everything. Which is only this one. Hold it. There's no need to press the princess on her apology. You already wasted a chance to throw out her testimony. Yes, defense. You get your point. Yikes. Oh. This was not your honor. Naturally, I said it's a waste of time from the beginning. In any case, this cross-examination is over. Thank you for your time, your highness. I assume you have no more revelations to share with us? No, I don't. I do not. Did I fuck this up? Or is this just how this goes and I'll use the oil later? Because it definitely seemed like there was something there. I really thought the fire would be important. Leave my sight. Enough. Your Highness, I'd allow... if you allow me to escort you back to Hyrule Castle. It does? The thing is, like, the only reason why I'm suspicious that I might have screwed something up is they both had an exchange where they're like, we know where this is going, which leads me to believe that there was something there. Oh, we're pressing everything does something? Very well. Now, the princess's little game is over, we should move this along. Prosecution's stance is still the same, of course. You maintain the evidence on its own is enough to convict the defendant. I do believe I am nearly ready to hand down my verdict. Objection. Much your honor. There is nothing that definitively shows that Malin committed the crime. It's all circumstantial. There's no way she could kill her own father. Ah, excellent point, defense. The prosecution has yet to elaborate on the defendant's motive. Patricide is not something that a person commits lightly. Bah. I did briefly touch on the subject during my opening statement, but naturally, the prosecution is fully prepared to elaborate on the matter. I would like to call in my third witness. This has to be the ranch worker. Before calling him in, though, the prosecution requests a brief recess to prepare. Oh, wait, yeah, I think I do remember that happening a couple times. That sounds familiar now. I thought you said you were already prepared. Maybe he wants to double check that his new witness won't pull anything weird like the princess did. Very well. I do believe a break would benefit us all. The court will reconvene after a 15-minute recess. The court is adjourned. At least I get to talk to her now. It's not going well, is it? No, I think we went... No, I think that went about as well as it could have, actually, given the circumstances. We exposed the worst of the princess's testimony is untrue. Ugh, can't believe she just makes stuff up like that. Yeah, that was surprising. Still, the issue is that we didn't manage to shake the core of the argument. If only there was anyone else at the house. Now, there's no need to look so glum. Detective, aren't you supposed to be escorting the princess back? The carriage is being prepared. I thought I'd drop by in the meantime. You've really managed to make Dragma furious, you know. I have? If you listen carefully, you might just be able to hear him ranting over there in the prosecutor's lobby. Doria. Ah. He's really giving his upcoming witness a grilling. Expect him to try and shut you down as fast as he can. Well, it would be worrying if I had anything that could shut him down. If I had anything he could shut down in the first place, I guess. Oh, but you do. What do you mean? Oh, come on now. I'm talking about the princess's grand discovery, of course. The fire. I wasn't able to do anything with that. I really think it's relevant? Don't get me wrong, at present, I'm convinced the girl did it. We investigated and came to this conclusion for a reason. But I'm willing to explore every possibility. The fire is definitely a bit strange, and I dare say it might be your only way out of this. If I may be so bold, I think you should press the witness on that topic hard. As the only other person working on the ranch at the time, he's the only one who could have lit that fire. If he is hiding something, I think the court deserves to know. Thing is, the next testimony is about the motive. It might be difficult to bring up the fire again without Dragmire objecting. You'll have to make it work. As much as I don't like it, she's right. There really isn't a whole lot else to go on here. Well, thank you. Don't mention it. One last thing, you, ranch girl. Me? Try not to hold that testimony against the princess. Believe me, I'm sure she was acting with the best intentions in mind. Huh. You know, the road to the Dark Realm is paved with those, right? Perhaps. It was definitely a serious lapse of judgment, one she will live to regret. Part of this comes from the fact that she's rather sheltered and inexperienced. After the sudden death of her older sister last year, she was thrust into the role of an heir very suddenly. That's right. A mysterious death of the firstborn princess. Wait, they're both named Zelda? They are usually appear in games. I don't know if it's necessarily a scripted loss. But I guess in a way, we weren't successful, so I guess that is a loss. But it wasn't a game over. Hyrule still grieves after the events of that day. Okay, so this makes sense why this Zelda is not our age. And yet no one knows what exactly happened. In the void of information, conspiracy theories run amok. People blame the Royal Guard, the Sheikah, and even the king himself. The princess will soon have a whole kingdom's worth of troubles on her shoulders. For a kingdom with a history as turbulent as ours, it's a lot to handle. The princess's conduct today probably won't help with the distrust some people have in the crown right now, though. She's wise beyond her years. She will learn, and she will be better. I simply ask that you don't think of her as an enemy, whatever comes of this trial. She does not need more than she already has. Wow, she's so intense. I've never expected to see Emperor get so emotional. I guess this is all why she decided to take the blame for the princess's impromptu investigation. Detective Impa. What is it, soldier? I'm quite busy at the moment, so please be quick. The investigation team back at the ranch has just sent word of a new development. Something about the milk shipment being returned to the ranch because of a wrong recipient address. They're asking you to come over and see it. Oh, those idiots. I do not have the time for this. Send someone else. I have to escort the princess to the castle. Roger. That did remind me, though. I took this bottle of milk from a couple of guards who were slacking on the job earlier. Here, ranch girl. Perhaps it'll help calm your nerves somewhat. Not to worry. It's still unopened. Oh? Thank you. That's nice of her. Too bad those guards, though. Oh. Now then, I believe the princess's carriage should be prepared by now. If you'll excuse me. I think I'm so nervous right now. The milk has lost its flavor. Huh? Lost its flavor? Long milk is always so tasty. Just reminded me of a video. Are you sure it's just nerves? Let me try some. Huh? You're right. I assume this would have come from one of yesterday's shipments. Probably. With the investigation at the ranch, there wouldn't have been any today, so... Maybe it just isn't fresh? No, I don't think so. It doesn't really taste as if it's gone bad. Also, the guard said that one of yesterday's shipments was misaddressed, didn't he? It's all handled by Ingo, wasn't it? I think there's something odd going on here. I better make some notes about this on the court record. Shipment return. All milk added to the court. Defense. The court is about to reconvene. Escort your client back to the courtroom at once. So, it's come down to this. The conclusion is approaching. Time to turn the situation around. Alright. I can make more mistakes. Which I don't think I should at this point. Court is back in session for the trial of Malin of Lon Lon Ranch. I trust the prosecution's final witness is ready. Naturally, I have personally seen to that there will be no foolishness this time around. Hopefully his ears are intact. As we discussed before the recess, having established the opportunity and means for the defendant to have committed the murder, only one matter remains. Matter of motive. For naturally, such a heinous crime couldn't be the result of mere happenstance. The prosecution believes the defendant had a deep desire that pushed her to patricide. Hey, potatoes. Yeah, back to business indeed. Alright, our next witness can shed light on the murder. Fascinating. Very well, please proceed. I need a voice for Ingo. The prosecution calls the ranch worker Ingo to the stand. Ah, it's funny to see Mr. Ingo in such fancy clothes. Oh? Yeah, he almost always just wears his work dungarees. What? It's almost like looking at a different person. Well, I guess he wanted to dress up for court. He wouldn't want to get this nice outfit dirty by working at it. Quiet, defense. Hey, he wore it there. Overalls. Witness, state your name and occupation. Your Honor, great honorable prosecutor. My name is Ingo. I mind Lon Lon Ranch. Mind? What does that entail exactly? That's not the right place for you. I'm mostly there to work on the structures and equipment. The owner and his daughter are the ones that tend the animals and take care of orders. Oh boy! There's a lot to unpack immediately. How long have you been working at the ranch? It'll be 7 years at this point. Oh my god, he's getting so close. 10K from VIP. Nice. There have been others who came and went, but I, Ingo, have persevered through all the hardships. Sounds like he wants a medal for it. Well, he does get a bit pompous at times, but Mr. Ingo really is a great help. He built the ranch silo single-handedly. Whoa, that's some dedication. Very well. Given that you're clearly an important employee, you are privy to some inside information, is that correct? Yes, the ranch owner shared all the big plans with me. He trusted me implicitly. He used to say that we were like a big family. That sounds lovely. That sounds like a red flag that they're gonna get loads of unpaid overtime. Oh, why is that statement so fucking real? Well, I would have to change the price of it, and I'm not going to do that. Evidently, not every member of your so-called family felt the same way, did they? It hurts to do this, but I have no choice. Hear my story, honorable court of law. His facial hair is doing the wave. Just a couple of days ago, the owner, Talon, partly signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malin. And this would be why he got upset, 'cause he didn't get it. Talon became a life tenant, with Malin meant to inherit all the assets after his death. As long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch life behind. It's appalling how ungrateful she is after all Talon did for her. That VA. And there you have it, testimony from a man who just lost everything. It's truly tragic to witness just another family torn apart by greed. We have evidence. We have the defendant caught red-handed at the scene of the crime, and now we have a motive. Objection. How do we know he's telling the truth? Bah, I have, of course, verified the witness's testimony. As per the law, all inheritance documents must be filed at the Castletown Notary Office to be considered valid. I saw fit to prepare this for the trial. The prosecution would like to submit the Lon Lon Ranch inheritance document into evidence. Alright, document added. Mr. Ingo, why would you... You should pass judgment now, Judge. The defense says nothing. Iggy I would like to cross-examine the witness. There are a few more details that I feel are relevant. But of course, ask whatever you like. I, the hard-working Ingo, can handle it. Very well, defense. Please begin. His nose looks a little tie. Alright, what is... Oh wow, we have a lot of stuff now. Ah! Malin will inherit the ranch. If she is unable, divide the deed between the crown and the remaining employees. So, he frames Malin for the murder. She can no longer inherit it. He gets at least half, I guess. Surprisingly tasteless. Is it just water? Like a bit of food dye. Okay. Just a couple of days ago, the owner... sign that over. Oh, got that. How long ago was this exactly? 4 days. Not sure the exact date. Had it been planned for a long time? Callum was getting on in years. Better to take care of the matter sooner than later, eh? So no, it wasn't planned. Malin? He is telling the truth. Father scheduled a visit to the notary office about a week ago. What do you mean by partly witness? Huh? Oh, because it's... Wait. Whatever. Figure that out later. Talon came to life. Tenant, Malin... Assets. Malin hadn't become the ranch owner yet. Of course not. Haven't you heard all the stories making rounds recently? So many ungrateful brats throwing their old folks into retirement homes the moment ownership signed to them. And Talon was no fool. I myself convinced him that it was the safer option. I see. So this has been brewing for a while, though. If the girl was up to some... chicanery? I think I have heard that word before. He could always revert his decision. That's horrible. I'd never do that. As much as I'd like to believe that, you did much worse by killing him. Children these days, you feed them, you raise them, and they pull a stunt like this as soon as you give them an inch over yourself. I must concur, the younger generation is horrible. Oh, we don't know his age. Why did he look at me while saying that? Anyway, what I meant was... Hey, yeah. But why would Malin want to sell the ranch right now? Why wouldn't she? Why would a pretty little girl like her want to work on some dingy ranch? She'd have it much better. She sold the old place and used the money to move to Castletown. That's not true. I love working with the animals. I wouldn't leave them for anything. Why? She's often slacking on the job while I, the hard-working Ingo, have to cover for her. You just contradicted yourself. Because you said you handle, like, all of the construction and they handle the animals. That would mean you also handle the animals. Which is a normal sage. He probably actually is in this case. I guess the Deku nut doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. That Talon loved to sleep on the job, too. Oh, I do recall a quite funny story about the Lon ranch owner blocking the side entrance to Hyrule Castle for an entire day once. And the gods couldn't wake him up. It took a particularly vocal cuckoo, apparently. Ah, jeez. Well, there you go. I'm the real reason why the ranch had such renown, no you're not. Me, the hard-working Ingo. Dude, why does it look like his hands are cut off at, like, the first knuckle? Link, that's not true at all. I know. But how do I stop this? It's simple, isn't it? A girl killed town. Hey! You really think Malin would go that far? I don't want to think it, but clearly the events speak for themselves, don't they? Why wouldn't she just wait a few more years then? Malin was getting older. Perhaps she knew more and more work would be piling on to her. But really, how am I supposed to know? Ask her. That's alright. Well, if Malin didn't want to work, why wouldn't she have done this earlier? As Talon's only child, she'd still inherit the ranch. Mwahaha! That's where you're wrong. For a long while, Talon planned to split the ranch between the girl and the crown. He was a patriotic man. He knew how much those horses meant to the royal guard. I wish he hadn't changed his mind now. I wish he hadn't changed his mind now. Is that true? Is that true? Yes. Father's previous inheritance document did work that way. How admirable. I guess familial bonds won over his drive to help the kingdom. Truly a shame. Yes, naturally, the girl wanted the whole thing, so she bided her time. I think that sufficiently explains the timing. Let's continue, shall we? Objection. Wait just a moment. There's one more problem with the timing that I'd like the witness to explain. Why would Malin have planned the murder for the day of the royal visitation specifically? More people around means more witnesses. Do you think she'd have chosen any other day? Oh, did I forget to mention this? I overheard Talon arguing with her the very morning, telling her he'd changed his mind again. He was planning to tell the king that he had been signing the ranch over to the crown. Is that just a lie? After the visitation was over, he'd head to the castle town to change the inheritance back to the original split. What? Despite the victim's wishy-washiness, it would appear he did make the right choice in the end. And because of that choice, if the defendant wanted to get the ranch, she'd have no time to waste that day. It's true too. Absolutely not. Father wasn't planning to do that, and there was no argument either. So what about this argument? What to do about this argument? I mean, obviously it's a lie, so... There was an argument about the inheritance. Sounds like an important fact to me. The defense requests to be added to the testimony. Very well, witness. Very well, witness, please do so. I'd be happy, Your Honor. I think this is my in. Alright. She killed him with his rest behind. I overheard them arguing about the inheritance that morning. How could you have done that if he was doing this? Fuck. I got you now. Who's the worst can concoct a flawless story? Found a gap in it. Link, are you implying the rich workers are stupid? That's not what I meant. On the other hand, certain attorneys definitely are, since what you just presented is entirely meaningless. Oh, I'm sure it's getting up on me. Overheard them arguing. Wait, what were they arguing about? Oh, wait, about what time did this happen? First thing in the morning. I was heading out to the silo to start the day's work. I had just walked out the front door of the ranch house when I heard some yelling erupt behind me. You remember anything specific about what was said? Oh yes, it surprised me enough that I stopped to listen for a minute. It was all like, I'm real sorry. I'm real sorry, Malin, but the most important thing is to make sure the king will always have a steady supply of quality horses. I don't care. What about me, Father? How can you do this to me? Madeline, this isn't just about you. It's for the good of the entire kingdom. But what am I supposed to do? I can't move up in life. I'm stuck on this dump of a ranch forever. Well, you love the ranch. All the animals are here, and Ingo's always around to help out with the chores, too. He's pretty great, isn't he? Oh my god. Yeah, Ingo is awesome, but I still hate you for this. This isn't over. What a stirring reenactment. I will keep my thoughts on the witness's acting skills to myself. There's no way that actually happened, though. Alan would never sell the ranch. Never want to sell the ranch. Well, of course, she'd say that now, you buffoon. Remember, she's under suspicion for murder. You can't trust a thing she says. Well, I trust her. But the judge probably doesn't right now, and that's unfortunately what matters. Do I have anything in the court record that could refute this story? Do I present the picture now? If you ask me, this whole inheritance issue could have been avoided if the crown wasn't so soft. In Gerudo Desert, there would be no question that the fortress may seize whatever it desires. That's just messed up. No matter. Continue your testimony, farmhand. Share with us the true nature of the defendant. All appalling and ungrateful. Alright, go ahead and press this. No, you hold it. That man gave everything for her. She's gotten so many expensive presents over the years. Just look at the golden necklace she's wearing. That man spoiled her rotten. In fact, I think I saw another present he was meaning to give her on the day... Well, that's just wrong. He was killed. Another gift. Why, yes, a little bottle of perfume, I believe. How did you know it was there? I think I'm getting ahead of myself. I think I need to do something else first. It's horrible. Talon was such a kind man. What happened to him? It's so despicable. Yes. Your Honor, the defense wishes to add the statement about the perfume to the testimony. Ah! What are you doing, trying to implicate the defendant even harder? I think it's an important detail. The perfume is irrelevant, but I suppose the prosecution has no objections to strengthening our case. Very well, witness. Please add what you said to your testimony. Talon often bought Madeline gifts. I saw the latest one, some kind of perfume bottle. That's just straight up wrong. It's not for her. Hold it. Where did you see this? Need more water. Hold it. Poke. I think it was lying around the ranch house. Talon probably intended to give it to Malin on the day he was killed. You mean this, witness? Why, yes, that's exactly it. Looks very expensive. If only Talon had spent as much of his salary for me, the hard-working Ingo. I get up and leave to do work all day. Jesus. I get up and leave to do work at the break of dawn every day, you know. What's your relationship with this guy anyway? Well, he's been employed and living with us on the ranch for as long as I can remember, really. You know, I don't think he's ever skipped a day of work thinking about it. Not a single one. Talk about dedication. But even so, something is very much off here. Okay. I mean, this is a clear contradiction. Because the gift was not intended for her, it was intended for Zelda. Okay. Objection. This was not for her. Okay, the music stopped. We got it. I'm gonna go grab some water real quick, though. Witness! Okey-dokey. Let's get this case wrapped up. Witness! My return. What is it? Just to confirm, you saw this bottle of perfume was bought from Malin by her father, correct? Huh. What else would it be for? I assure you, Talon wasn't the type to indulge in perfumes. Far from it. Well, you're wrong, witness. Oh, is that so? Was the ranch owner truly a perfume connoisseur? No, Your Honor. This bottle of perfume was bought for the princess. Irrelevant. So what, defense? Oh. So what, defense? Defendant's game, Your Honor. Sure, it is technically a contradiction, but what does the purpose of the bottle change? Yes. Yes. Yes, defense. I admit I'm confused as well. Please explain why this point is important. Early in the trial, Malin mentioned that Talon bought his perfume bottle at the last minute. Isn't that right, Malin? It sure is. We had a gift for the king prepared when the news arrived that it was actually the princess making the visitation. Father quickly rode out into town to get a new gift, which means there couldn't have been an argument. This info was somebody's movements? That's one thing, somebody's movements. But someone's movements around the ranch are put into serious doubt. Someone's? Well, don't keep us waiting then, defense. Who is this person? Naturally, the person whose movements became suspect is... Go. Take that! The witness himself. If you recall, this bottle of perfume, which had just been purchased, was found at the crime scene. A crime scene that the witness supposedly never went to. He shouldn't have known about the bottle. Ah! Order, order! The defense raises a very valid point. You simpleton, what's the meaning of this? Well, witness, did you go to the scene of the crime at any point? No, of course I didn't. I was working in the silo all day. Objection! Oh, he's falling apart now. I remember I saw the gift the day before the crime. The girl's lying. Talon must have gotten the gift the day before. You are the one who's lying. Father didn't leave the ranch at all that day. One word's against another's. Defense. Do you have any way to prove that your version of the events is true? Find the receipt. When you buy something, you usually get a receipt. And the receipt always shows the date of your purchase. I still show the... Oh. That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking of the milk receipts. Father never throws receipts away. We have a drawer full of them. The perfume one should be right on top. I believe this idea has some merit. Soldiers, rush to the ranch house immediately and search for that receipt. Assuming he didn't destroy it.
I'm kind of wishing somebody told me this was part of the job description.
Yo, what's up, Oran? Welcome raiders. How y'all doing? Your Honor. Yes? What is it, What is it, soldier? Holy. It's going quite alright. I'm playing some Zelda attorney. Link at law. It is a ROM hack of Ocarina of Time, where Link is Phoenix Wright and Ganon is Von Karma, I think? I don't think he's Edgeworth. It's quite entertaining, though. But what were you up to tonight? There's a receipt from the team stationed at the crime scene. Ah! Oh! Very well, thank you. I shall read it out. There's a lot of writing on this. Ahem, from Tingle's Mysterious Smells. I don't like that name. Ah, yes, I think I've seen that store. It's that eccentric-looking place in the back alley. Wait, does this mean Tingle is like 50? Because he's like 35 when Link is a child. Where's Xenoblade X? Ah, nice. So if that game's like an MMO, does it end? It's not the right way. That's not what I was looking to ask. I just didn't know Xenoblade had an MMO. Kinda cool though. That's maybe a more poignant question: is it still being updated, or is it just kind of existing? Mark messaging me. Oh, this profound sadness. Objection funk? What is that? Or just buy story skips. Anywho, eccentric looking place back alley. You couldn't miss the blinding neon colors if you tried. An utter eyesore. The goal of this nobody running a monopoly on Hylian perfumes is preposterous. What? Perhaps, but back to the matter at hand. The nerve of that dunderhead. Why would anyone ever shop at the store where the owner calls every other customer a fairy? Prosecutor? He really hates Tingle and the balloons. Oh, the balloons. That fool popped one in my face. Prosecutor Dragbear, enough. Continuing on. Purchase items. 1 bottle of Rosy Rupee Land. Oh my. It's quite the price. Why, I would have to... Your Honor, please, the date of purchase. Ah, right. Date of purchase. March 16th. The day of the murder. Gah! Why does Ganon hate Tingle so much? Order, order. Yes, we got him. Phew, we are finally getting somewhere. Bah. Ish. What? This still doesn't mean anything. Perhaps the witness briefly went back to the ranch house for something and saw the bottle then. Yes, that's it. I was getting thirsty, so I went back to get a drink. I must have seen the bottle then. Oh, come on. You think we're going to believe that? Do you have any proof that he didn't? Well, I believe this calls for further testimony. As the witness now claims to have visited the crime scene shortly before the murder, we should learn of his exact movements that day. A dream where Link lost his original hat. Turned out Tingle found it. He wears that outfit. Oh, that's an odd dream to have. Ah, my movements. Well, alright. There's not a whole lot to say, though. Unfortunately, he managed to weasel out of that. But this next testimony will be full of lies. This is my chance. It felt so weird. It's like, okay, nice. My non-suspicious movements. As was already stated, I had volunteered to work in the silo. At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. I went back to the silo right after that and stayed there until the courier came. I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened, and wow, was that detective one fine woman. That's wrong, because you fought her on the crate search. See, I haven't done anything to warrant suspicion. Eat my shoes, you brat! I'll pass. There has to be something wrong there. You can't put a flawless story together that quickly. Cross-examination. Like, I want to throw this in his face because him finding out after the fact is not correct, because he fought Impa on the thing. Tell me about that. What were you doing? Working on shipments and fulfilling orders. That contradicts what you said earlier. We send out crates of milk. We send out crates of milk to milk bars across the kingdom every day, you know? Milk bars. Naturally, everyone loves a good drink, you know. And our milk is renowned as the best there is. I hear some others waters their down. Despicable. I see. I think you said earlier that your job is to work on structures and equipment, though. Indeed. Talon and the girl would usually be the ones overseeing milk orders. However, since the royal visitation was happening that day, I felt they needed their minds unoccupied, so I took it upon myself to do it this time. After the murder, I got scared that the Sheikah Force's investigation would delay the shipment, and that I, the Great Ingo, would be to blame. Thankfully, that all went through fine. Yeah, and you were so concerned with sending it off quickly that you wrote the wrong delivery address on it. Bah, you Hylians. You Hylians, ridiculous. Getting tipsy from something like milk. Bet you couldn't even handle it of a Gerudo's noble pursuit. A real man's drink. A real man's drink? Aren't the most of Gerudo women? Speaking of drinks, I believe the witness was talking about how he had gotten himself a glass of water. Yes, of course. Moving all that heavy stuff around works up the sweat, you see. I got very thirsty and went back for a glass of water. Tell me about this water. You think just take a sip of milk while you're handling? No. It wouldn't be right. That milk was for the customers, you see. I just didn't want to get into any trouble. A truly honest man. How dare you suggest you'd steal from his own workplace? Right. So what did you see in the house? Not much. I got my drink and left. Still had a lot of work to do, you see. I suppose I must have seen the perfume bottle then. In fact, yes, I remember it clearly now. It was there on the table, plain as day. Moo-ha-ha! That is where it was found. Great. What happened? What happened after that? What happened after that, witness? I went back to the silo right after and stayed there. But if you were doing the milk, you're contradicting yourself a bunch, but I don't know how to make it relevant. You said you're... Unless they do the milk out of the silo, I guess. But that doesn't make sense, though. And you were able to complete this so quickly on your own. Bah! You don't know the might of the great Ingo. Yeah! How? Wham! I get things done in no time. I did almost break my back getting those crates out of the silo, though. There were so many, all so heavy. It was like a puzzle in there. Anyway, that's not important. The point is... I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. Hold it. Are you sure? Sure as can be. You never went back in even after the crime was discovered. Bah. They wouldn't let me in. Preserving the crime scene or some such, I couldn't even get any of my things. Oh! Then why were you dressed like that in your good... Oh man, there is a lot. Man, there's so much wrong, but I don't know how to get any of it to light. After I was questioned, no one gave me half a glance. I had to sleep in the stables that night. It was terrible. It is important, Your Honor. I'd like the witness to add his last statement to his testimony. What? What are you trying to pull now? Very, very well. Witness, please amend your statement. Ah, fine, whatever. I didn't even get to sleep or access any of my belongings. I had to spend the night in the stable. And today is the 17th, which means he probably didn't get in today, so how is his clothes so nice? Couldn't you have stayed in an inn? Bah, what am I, made of money? Think, boy, I'm just a simple ranch worker, you know? You lawyers always flaunting your wealth. Right, sorry. Not actually sorry, I doubt one night would bankrupt this guy. Just look at what he's wearing. I don't know how to point that out. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened, and wow, was that detective a woman? Could you elaborate? She is a hard-working woman who gets to the point and takes what she wants. Not to mention her impeccable fashion sense. What's not to love? That's not the part I wanted to elaborate on. Oh wow, he seems totally smitten with her. Sure does. I wonder how Impa feels about it. Perhaps when this chore of a trial is over, I could... But no, it will have to wait. You thought you could distract me, didn't you? I, the genius ranch worker Ingo, see through your schemes. He's sticking to that story, huh? Yeah, it was a desperate fix, but it holds up surprisingly well. I can hardly believe it's the same Mr. Ingo I know. He's usually so nice. It's time to press for more details. I'm sure he'll slip up somewhere. There has to be a piece of evidence or a profile waiting to disprove what he's saying. Wait, what is his profile? A smarmy man. Usually in his work clothes. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Already went for water. In the silo. Haven't been back at the ranch house. I not sleep or have access to my belongings. So you're saying you worked in those clothes? Witness, there's something seriously wrong with your testimony. What? What are you talking about? You say you couldn't get access. You say you couldn't get any of your belongings because they were all at the ranch house, correct? A ranch house you were not allowed to go in. That's right. Well, that would imply you should still be wearing your work clothes. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but those don't look like work clothes at all. Ah! The defense has a point. The witness appears pretty well dressed for the court. I can't imagine he would want those surely clothes during work. Wait. I can't imagine he would want to sully those clothes during work. Well, what do you have to say to that? Grr. Oh, of course. When I went to get my glass of water, I got myself a change of clothes. I can't explain, it's simple. These are brand new, yeah. On my way to the courthouse, I went shopping for a nice new outfit. After all, I couldn't very well show up to court dressed like a bum. Is this where I use the photo? Yes, defense. Certain people have a modicum of respect for the court and show up dressed appropriately. You're one to talk. That's what I mean. This is my finest Zora suit. So you claim you bought these clothes after the crime, is that correct? Very much so. This morning, in fact. Why do I need to repeat myself? You can't produce a receipt? No. You buying those clothes today is simply impossible. What? Oh? How could you claim so? Defense. As you know, evidence is everything in court. I've got just the thing. To prove what the witness couldn't have bought them today or get out. Take that! I'd like to turn the court's attention to this. Ah! Huh? Wow, this is one lovely photograph. This is one lovely photograph. Is this just a recent version of AA, or is it a complete fan game? It is a ROM hack of Ocarina of Time, I believe. What about this photograph, defense? Well, look at what Ingo is wearing. A photo from Malon's childhood, but Ingo is clearly wearing the same outfit he has on right now. He couldn't have bought it today. Gah! Order. I will have order. Why, the defense is absolutely correct. I hope the witness has a good explanation for this. I really like this set of fancy clothes. I just buy it a lot. There, I think we finally got him. There's no way he weaseled it this time. Oh, unless someone weasels it out for him. But isn't it obvious? Naturally, the witness knew he would need to wear his nice clothes for the royal visitation that was scheduled for that day. He brought them to the silo in advance so he could quickly change just before the royal visitation arrived. Oh. Oh-ho! Oh ho ho ho! Yes, of course, I needed to be presentable after all. Can't look like a bum in front of the most important people in the kingdom. Objection. Wait just a minute, this is insane. What kind of kangaroo court is this? The prosecution keeps making excuses up on the spot. Ingo was clearly lying about buying the clothes for the trial before the trial. He's definitely trying to hide something. Your Honor, surely you won't accept this blatant perjury. Accept it. Accept it, Judge. There can be no other explanation. The prosecution's explanation does seem plausible. What? However, the fact that the witness didn't simply say it himself and instead made up a lie about buying the clothes is indeed very suspicious. Oh. Defense. The prosecution has posed that there is no other possible explanation for this contradiction. What is your opinion on the matter? Can the defense think of an alternate version of events? This is big. I really need to think this through. Do I get to like connect things? Ingo is acting really suspicious right now. He's desperately trying to patch up the holes in his testimony. This is Nehru's song. Oh. The remix music is really good. Patch holds up his testimony to conceal his real movement. Why would he be doing this? Ingo is a murderer. If it's not Malin, Ingo is the only other person who could have done this. No, it was Epona! Send her to the glue factory! I have to assume he did, if I want to think Malin is innocent. With that in mind, why did Ingo change out of his work clothes? They were bloodied. Talon's blood got on them. When Ingo killed Talon's clothes must have gotten blood on them. He had to change into something else to hide his involvement. But then wouldn't the Sheikah forces found the clothes in the house? No. How could they have disappeared? They were burnt. They were thrown in a fire. They were all the middle option. Alright, I figured it out, like, an hour ago. Ingo burned his clothes. Nice. That's it. This explains everything. Oh, now we're leaving the grotto. I believe I can offer an alternative explanation. Ejection. Objection. Nonsense. Judge, the defense spent far too long sitting in silence just now. They clearly have nothing. I call for a quick ruling. Objection. And not only can I explain it, but in fact, the defense formally accuses the witness of the murder. No! It's simple. The reason he had to swap his outfit and why he's been lying about the circumstances ever since is because he got stained with the victim's blood. Preposterous. If there were any discarded bloody clothes near, the Sheikah forces would have found them, and we would be trying someone else for murder right now. Why? You are absolutely correct, prosecutor. Naturally, Ingo couldn't have left his bloody clothes lying around. And so, he used this to dispose of them. Take that! Your Honor, cast your mind to the princess's last testimony. The princess's... Ah! That mysterious fire! Objection. Surely you jest. You yourself made sure we all knew how meaningless her testimony was. And yet, with this new context in mind, it gains a completely new meaning. An empty bottle of lamp oil found by a burned-out fire. Ingo used this lamp oil to quickly burn away his stained work clothes. Well, how about it, witness? My scenario explains everything. You killed Talon and tried to hide it. No. Hold on. Why would I do this? What drivel are you spouting here? Me? Kill Talon? You already know that's impossible. I have to cross-examine him again. Too busy for murder. Everything you said is wrong. I have no idea what you're on about. I have an alibi for the time of the crime. I couldn't have done it. Actually, you have no alibi because you have no witness to your alibi. That's the important thing about those. There's no way I could have completed those milk shipments, killed Talon, and tried to hide my involvement. I see how this is all piecing together. The fire was just made for a quick breakfast. There's no mystery there. So he admits to that. Stop trying to pin this on poor old innocent Ingo. Now, I shouldn't have to remind you, Defense, but you yourself were surprised that Ingo was able to complete the shipment in time. Adding even more things for him to do in that time is preposterous. That's right. The great Ingo is efficient at his job, but not that efficient. No, it had to have been him, I'm sure of it. There must be some trick at play here. Some kind of shortcut. Maybe putting water in the milk. I must find it. I love the silent desk slam. Alright. Too busy for murder. Everything you said is wrong. I have no idea what you're on about. I don't think it was really point to press that. Had an alibi for the crime. I just couldn't have done it. Alright, tell me this alibi. Could you explain what this alibi is again? With pleasure. At the time of the crime, I was busy preparing the day's shipment of milk. That's hard work. I barely had enough time to get them done before the courier came to take them. The shipments were inspected by the Shiga Force as they were leaving the ranch. And our resident detective has told us they found to be fully loaded with bottles of milk. That's right. The Shiga Force itself has vouched for me. There's no way it could be the culprit. Oh, I disagree. There has to be a way. There must be. There's no way to complete it in press. Hold it! Would it really have taken that long to murder someone and burn clothes? It would have taken long enough to definitely make the scheme infeasible. Completing these shipments is a rather involved process. You have to milk the cows, clean the bottles, pour the milk into them, put them in the crates, and load them into the wagon. So, he probably only milked some of the cows, didn't clean the bottles, and then watered them down for the rest of the milk. That's probably what he did. He probably didn't clean them. I love working with the cows. But that part takes the longest because you only get a little at a time. So Mr. Ingo, as Mr. Ingo said, the whole thing really does take a while. Father and I usually have to work together to get it done in time for the courier to arrive. And there you go, Defense. Your own client knows this is unshakable truth. Okay, so there's no way he could complete the shipments and also do the killing. In that case, there had better be some way for him to finish the work faster. I just have to find it. The fire was just made for a quick breakfast. What did you have for breakfast? You had enough time for breakfast, but not enough time to kill someone. Yes, of course! The breakfast was cooking while I kept working, then I just quickly gobbled it up. There's no issue there. In fact, yes, I remember it even burned a bit because I wasn't completely paying attention to it. That's why I had to go get the glass of water too, you see, and to wash it down after. What a convenient little explanation. Funny how the whole getting water is actually part of the truth. But for all I know, he actually did cook up a breakfast on a fire and burning blood-soaked clothes. Ew. And continue, witness. We don't want to hear about your culinary adventures. Of course. My point has been telling you this whole time. Stop trying to pin this on poor innocent Ingo. You're not. I'm just gonna go for it. This is the evidence. I know that's... Take that! But did you though? Did you really complete those shipments properly? Defends, I shouldn't have to remind you that Shigfor checked the boxes thoroughly. They were definitely full of milk bottles. Oh, I'm sure of it. Oh, I'm sure it looked that way. What are you getting at, Defense? Here you go, Your Honor. Huh? Milk for me? Ugh. Are you trying to bribe the judge now? I didn't think you'd stoop so low. The Crown will be informed of this. Oh, that's nothing. Oh, it's nothing like that. All I'm asking is that His Honor try tasting the milk. Just one little sip. This is highly irregular. But to be honest, I could use a drink. All this talking does make one's throat dry, you know. Preach. You've probably talked the least out of everyone here, though. As the defense insists, I'll go ahead and take a sip. This is garbage. Ish. This is what passes for milk these days. It tastes almost like water. Ooh, water? I have to agree. This is definitely not standard milk. As we have heard from the princess and the detective, Lon Lon Ranch is renowned for the quality of its products. But there's no way people would say that about this But there's no way people would say that about milk this lousy. Bah, whatever. As if the unwashed masses would know the difference between quality and garbage. Where are you going with this defense? It's simple, you see. I received this bottle from Detective Impa, still unopened during the first recess. As we know, there were no milk shipments today, so this must have come from the one of Ingo's shipments from yesterday. Ugh. It's true that Ingo couldn't have murdered Talon and also completed the shipments on his own. Unless he cheated. Ingo watered down the milk to get the shipments done in time. Order! Order! Yes, I suppose that would work. Indeed. All he had to do was milk fewer of the cows. To save enough time without ruining the taste too much, I guess he used about a 50-50 split of water and milk. This is... no! That... Talon! This is where he breaks down and admits everything. Nope, Ganon's stopping him. Let me stop you right there. I will concede that something odd happened to that shipment. But all you've proven is that Ingo is a slacker. How dare you! Shut up! Be quiet, you mongrel. Sure, Ingo watered down the milk. That doesn't make him a killer, though, does it? Well, no. But now we do know that he definitely could have done it. We know he did go to the crime scene. And we know he did have the time and opportunity to kill Talon as well. Yet there's one vital element missing still. His motive. Let me put it in simple terms so even an idiot like you can understand. Rebuttal? Oh, what is this? The murder weapon. You lack a murder weapon. If Ingo was the murderer, then it couldn't have been the saw. If the murder weapon Ingo was the murderer, then it couldn't have been the saw. I object. Nope. I won the argument. I'm afraid I don't see how this piece of evidence is relevant at all. It's the autopsy report saying it was the saw. You're winning. Here's a participation trophy, and here it is, a shiny new penalty. I'd rather go empty-handed. I don't know how this works. I haven't played an Ace Attorney game that has rebuttals in it. Oh, I can't advance it. So I need to disprove it. And why is that? It is simple. If the girl's story about working on the fence is true, then she was using the saw while her father was being murdered. It couldn't have been in two places at the same time. Do you agree with this? No. No, the saw was the murder weapon. Truly? Well, if that's the case, then present some proof. Enlighten us on how it could have been in two places at the same time. I really need to think about this. It would be this then, right? No! What? What do I think of it? Why do you ask? Well, I have evidence here. Alright, so I guess my theory was wrong. No idea what you're talking about. Correct. Couldn't have been the saw. No, but it has to be the saw. Right? I mean, my idea was that there was two saws, and since Ingo is the one who did inventory, he could have left one off the roster. And yeah, so I have to do something here. I don't know what it wants, though. I'm assuming I'll just lose if I accept this as true. But I don't know what the game wants. What is this? This is an Ocarina of Time ROM hack that has turned the game into an Ace Attorney game. So welcome. I don't think it's a profile. Alright, whatever. I'm gonna press it again. Once. Yeah. I think we're in complete agreement on this point. You realize the problem with Tracy being right. I'm sure it can all be explained. Okay. As if. But very well, then let's move on to why nothing else could have been the murder weapon either. Where would the supposed other murder weapon have come from? Okay, tell me about it. Couldn't he have used any old thing? No. Either answer the question defense, or this discussion is over. I need to overthink this. Anywhere Ingo could have gotten a weapon will do. I'll worry about the exact details later. Okay, so I need to present something here. I mean, this is the only thing that shows there being other things. So probably wrong. Have you forgotten this murder happened at a ranch? There are plenty of sharp things on site. Oh ho! That's simply impossible. And checked all the sharp objects on the ranch and searched everyone. No fresh blood was found anywhere else. Hey, go have jest. Internet disposed of it. I mean... probably disposed of it. I mean, just dispose of it in some way. Huh, that is impossible. You see... no items from the ranch inventory list were missing, and that list is indisputable. How can you be so sure that the inventory is accurate? Bah, use your head. There was a royal visitation scheduled for that day. The ranch owners needed everything to be in order. He would have double, even triple checked the list, list when he wrote it. I suppose he would have, but... I don't know what it's looking for. Fuck. It shows that he made a mistake on the day. What do I need to do here? I need to present something, but... I can't agree with him on this. Do I just present this again and say, hey, look, he did the thing? I'm probably going to fail here, because I don't know what the game is after. The inventory list itself is false. Oh, fascinating. What exactly makes you question the veracity of this document? That would be... starting with the inventory itself. It's simple. You only need a brief look at the inventory to see that it can't be trusted. Ho-ho! You can't just go around making such general statements, defense. Wait, no, what exactly about it makes it suspect? Thank you. Ingo. Take that! Just look here. The one who compiled this list was Ingo himself. He could have easily falsified the counts as part of its plan. Ugh. That doesn't matter. Oh, but it does. No items from the ranch's inventory were missing. Okay. Nothing could have left the ranch. But something did. Wouldn't Dingo have been able to just throw the item out over the fence? Bah, obviously, we searched the perimeter of the ranch as well. Nothing was found anywhere. This is the most important point. Has nothing really been able to leave? Okay. Nothing could have left the ranch. But you're wrong! Something did leave the ranch! Don't know how his game works, but Nico said he could have wiped off the blood. Hello, Jason. Welcome. So the problem is we're operating off of the assumption that there's only one saw, and the saw they found was in the house. And so there, Malin had a saw because she was doing some woodworking, so he couldn't have done it because she had the only one. That's why the list was falsified. There's 2 saws. The saw was in what? So, Talon was murdered with a saw. Marin had been doing some fence repairs, so she was using a saw to, like, work on the fence. The registry, the stock registry says that there was only 1 saw, so it couldn't have been in 2 places at once. Are you really sure nothing left the ranch? What about a few little shipments of milk? Preposterous. Have you forgotten that said shipments had been checked by the Sheikah force before they were allowed to leave? And that's true, but there was a place that Sheikah could have overlooked. What in Din's name are you babbling about? We're talking about bog-standard crates here, boy. Not exactly vast dungeons full of nooks and crannies to stuff things into, are they? Where could they have missed the murder weapon? It's simple. They overlooked the crates themselves? The crates themselves. The killer used a big chunk of wood to kill the victim, and then nailed it to the crate to conceal it. No, the weapon was definitely metal. No strips of lumber could create wounds like that. Plus, if the weapon was wooden, it would have simply burned it together with his clothes to ensure it'd never be found. Ah, right. Shit! News on this point, you know. Have you really thought and been careful? I don't. No, that's it. Damn. Enough the verdict this time. Defense has failed to establish the scenario. Represent scenario to the one, a likely alternative scenario to the one presented by the prosecution. As such, an open nose, guilty. Son of a bitch. I don't know. Guilty. Rip. And shall submit herself to the king and have her fate decided. Court is adjourned. Alright, load game. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna fly through this real quick. That's in Fortnite. Oh yeah, so yeah, I press this. And agree. Could have been in 2 places. Yeah. Let's operate under that assumption. Alright. Where'd the other one have come from? Press it again? I need to use the old thing. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, wait, I can't press that right now. Yeah, it is the report. This. Anything would... Okay. This is... Take that. There's plenty of things. Murder happened on a farmhouse. Sharp objects everywhere. Simply impossible. What? Ace Attorney games, did they add, like, a head-to-head thing like this in? Take that. Wait, what? It was the thing twice in a row. Huh? Let me just read it. Yeah, let's read it. Do I have to actually... Fuck! I was mashing... You would have found it. You may have been an idiot, but you really think you would risk having the weapon being found. Now listen here. Silence. Ah. Well, I guess this is a good point. I need to rethink this. I mean, go ahead, Jess. And disposed of it. Disposed of it in some way. That is impossible, you see. No items from the wrench inventory was missing. Okay. I forgot about that one. His inventory is fake. Fascinating. What makes you question the validity of the document? Something about the inventory itself. I'm glad that I pieced together how this murder happened, like, an hour and a half ago. Wait, no, what makes this... No! Fuck! I'm mashing! No. Stop hitting A! Yes. Point out what exactly it was. What did I point to? Probably the hammers. Take that. Compiled was by the guy himself. Okay. Hard. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter that he made the list because nothing could have left the ranch. But that's where you're wrong. Really sure nothing left the ranch? You should have milk. It's true, but there was a place that Sheikah could have overlooked. Could they have missed the murder weapon? They overlooked the contents of the crate. The murder weapon was just left in one of the crates between the milk bottles. Do you really consider the Sheikah that incompetent? That would have been the first place to check. Besides, do you think the murder would have risked something that obvious? Ah. Wait. So he put it in one of the bottles? What? So the contents of the bottles? How big are these bottles? Milk is white. I mean, I guess I'm just simply doubting how big the bottles are. It has to be this one because it didn't delete any of them. Someplace inside the crates, the Sheikah couldn't have checked thoroughly without ruining the shipment. Without ruining the shipment. Ugh. That's right. Ingo put the murder weapon inside of... Okay, I didn't think to try that because I didn't think the bottles were that big. Oh, wait. No, it's the giant milk jugs, isn't it? It's not the bottles you drink from. It's the frickin'... It's those giant milk bottles you have to defend in Majora's Mask. Okay, that makes a lot more sense, how the saw could be hidden in it. Inside of one of them. It does seem plausible. Objection! Now wait just a moment. Nothing could have left the ranch. 2. A weapon in a milk bottle wouldn't just go unnoticed, someone would have reported it. They did! That's why I wait. Yeah, whatever. Take that! You would be correct that a weapon showing up as someone's milk in someone's milkshake would cause quite a stir. If the milk ever actually made it to any milk bar, that is. You see, I overheard a very interesting tale during the recess. Word was sent from the ranch not long ago, that one of the shipments was returned unopened due to being misaddressed. What? No! Will you hurry up and break down and admit to everything? Indeed, if you recall, Ingo was the one who handled all of that. Now, that's strange. The ranch supplies have the same milk bars every day. Even if he had messed up the street address a little, the couriers would have known where the shipment was meant to go. How could he have bungled it that badly? It's almost as if he didn't want anyone receiving a bottle of milk with a murder weapon in it. I bet Ingo expected this box to stay in the shipping limbo for a while longer. How unfortunate for him that the postal service was on its game today. Maybe because they were worried it'd start to smell. I believe this calls for us to investigate these boxes of milk more closely. Soldiers, have these boxes retrieved from the ranch immediately. Argument complete. Yay! All of my mistakes was because I was mashing. This is slander. Why would I kill Talon? Sure, he's a bit of a layabout, but he did give me a job. Why would I want him dead? Because you want his stuff. The motive. That's simple. Why, I'm surprised you're even asking about it. The evidence that easily explains your motive. Take that! The very inheritance document you brought to the court's attention states the following. In case the testator's death, his daughter, Malin of Long Long Branch, will inherit the ranch, unless she is unable to oversee it, in which case it shall be divided between the crown and the remaining employees. Ah! Are you going to admit it now? What? You not only killed Talon, but decided to frame Malin for the crime as well, so you would be the one to inherit part of the ranch. That's why you volunteered to work in the silo that day, and it gave you an alibi so that Malin would be the only possible culprit. Of course, you knew about the royal visitation in advance. You knew Malin would go back to the ranch house to prepare before they arrived. A perfect setup for the royals to find her next to the body. No, no, no! What are you talking about? Talon signing the ranch over to me? Preposterous. Did he really not know? I guess it was Dragmire who produced the actual document, not him. Your Honor. What is it, soldier? The box you requested is here. Already? That was quite fast. Apparently, the team at the ranch had already noticed something awry with it on their own. The box arrived just as we were about to rush out a courier to deliver our message. Well, 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 let's see for ourselves then, shall we? Please produce this bottle of milk. I want to know how... Oh, wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. But it's the one with red in it. How... Whatever. Here it is. From the bottle with the slight red tint to the milk. Looks like some kind of serrated knife. That explains the irregular wound nicely. Okay, so it wasn't two thawed, but... How could those Sheikah idiots have missed this? I'm sure the milk was pure white when they first checked it, and it took a whole day for the blood to dissolve in it. Either way, no matter how you slice it, it proves my theory right. Grrr. Oh, I've had it. Fine, fine. You wanna know why? You wanna know why I really killed that scumbag? No! What are you? So you admit it? Yes, I admit it. What would you do if one day after years of backbreaking labor, despite putting your all into the ranch, you were thrown away like rubbish, without any reason, fired, farewell, we don't need you anymore. What? That doesn't make sense. Oh, don't lie, I heard it all. I was just returning back from another day of spine-wrenching work, and lo and behold, what is this? Malin and Talon are talking behind my back. I heard it all. We'll let him go after the visitation. We can handle it. he can handle things without him. And so, after volunteering to work on that shipment, I quietly slipped out while the girl was busy and shanked the good-for-nothing slacker. Ha! You should have seen his face. He didn't expect it at all. I've lost the southern accent entirely. It was in a bottle well. Yeah, a knife makes a bit more sense than the saw blade. So yes, Malin, I killed that lazy bum you called a father. And he deserved it. Thank you. For finally admitting it. Order. The witness will cease his boasting over such a terrible deed. I think we've heard enough. Soldiers, take him away. Hold it. Wait just a moment. Ingo. Yes, girl, you want to apologize for what you done? Apologize? Me? You're horrible. We weren't planning to fire you at all. You completely misunderstood what we were saying. What? We've had so much work recently. Well, you know how it goes with the royal visits. Always a busy time. Gotta make sure everything's in tip-top shape. Oh, I do worry something about old Ingo, though. He's been complaining about his back recently. I do wish he'd take a step back and relax sometimes. Maybe we should convince him to take a vacation. Wahaha! Now there's an idea. It'd do him good just to get out for a while. I'll discuss it with him after the visitation. After things calm down, we can handle everything without him. That's... You were... planning what? A vacation for me? And I did... No! No, I can't be so. Please. Oh god, why is the moon crashing? No, why is there a cuckoo here? Why is he getting death by chickened? What is happening? Huh? I get what they were going for with that, because in the Ace Attorney games, the people who did it always explode in some way. But it would have made sense if he was actually holding a cuckoo in some of his little poses. We have witnessed today the results of a truly horrifying misunderstanding. But misunderstanding or not, what you have done is unforgivable. Talon was a kind man, beloved by all who had the good fortune to cross his path. His loss will be felt not only at his ranch, but across all Hyrule. All across Hyrule. The killer turned out to be an utterly pathetic man with delusions of grandeur. I mean, look at him. An utter idiot dressed like a clown. Oh, is this where the Sag mask comes from? He's really laying into him. Maybe he's just upset because he lost. The prosecution's rant aside, I think it's time to declare today's verdict. This is just a formality, but will the defendant please step up to the stand? Can't even look. Young miss, I'm very sorry for the situation you found yourself in. I'm very glad you have appeared to have such a good attorney as a friend. I wouldn't have chosen anyone else. Aw, thanks. Just ignore the timeline where you lost and got convicted. Now, without further ado, in the name of the goddess Hylia and the sacred land of Hyrule, I hereby find Malin of Lon Lon Ranch not guilty. Yeah. I love that little Inoku over there in the stands. Court is adjourned. It only took like another hour and 20 minutes. I know, it only took like another hour. We did it! I suppose so. I guess Ingo's outburst kind of soured the mood, huh? I don't think I can ever forgive Mr. Ingo for what he's done. That's fair enough, honestly. Really, though, you shouldn't think about it for now. You're free! It's time to celebrate. I guess you're right. Excellent work. I knew it. I knew you'd pull through. Oh, thanks. I couldn't have done it without you, really. So, thank you. Now, it's not quite right. If you want to thank someone, I'm not the one who deserves it the most. It would be Zelda, the oil. Your Highness? I thought you were going back to the Hyrule Castle. What strings does Impa have to pull to get her here? I was... But I realized I should apologize for what I did personally. It's an honor. Ah, there is no need to bow, not after what I've done. Really, if not for my status, I would have probably been carted off to prison alongside that angry little man. Just called him an angry little man. Surgery is pretty serious. That's probably not entirely wrong. As usual, you don't give yourself enough credit, Your Highness. How can you say that, Detective? I almost condemned an innocent person to prison. Yes, there are some things that you should think twice about doing in the future. But it's still thanks to you that the young lady over here finally went free. Huh? Come on, Attorney, show Her Highness what I'm talking about. Your funny little oil. Take that! The bottle? Well, it's true. Without this, and without knowing what about the fire, we wouldn't have had any proof to substantiate our claims. Well... Because the the bloodied knife in the bottle would still have existed, so we still would have had that. We just wouldn't have had a connecting point. And really, your obviously false testimony helped us too. Ouch! Impa just stepped on my foot. It helped us probably a lot. Impa stepped on my foot. Well, there you have it. In any case, I'm sure Miss Malin isn't too upset. Well, sure. Turn hut! Oh, hey, it's you. We have orders to escort the princess back to the castle immediately. Oh, just in time. Farewell, Your Highness. And so they left. Now then, listen to me. I know that I am perhaps being too lenient on the princess, but tough times are ahead. The princess will need all the accomplice she can get to lead the kingdom through them. She needs to learn to take responsibility for her actions too, though. And she will. Huh? Your Highness is in for a rather unpleasant afternoon today, I imagine. The urgency in which she has just been escorted out of here isn't coincidental. What, is the king going to scold her? At the very least. Now then. My duties call, unfortunately, so I must be off. Again, you did well today, both of you. I trust that I will be able to rely on you in future court proceedings as well. I'll try my best. That's all I ask. That unpleasant prosecutor seems to be making his way over here, so I'll excuse myself post-haste. Farewell. Uh-oh. He looks so weird from this angle. Eat you. Hello. Nice day we're having, isn't it? Tell me now, where did that blasted detective go? I feel like his ears have a little bit of extra geometry on them. To have my reputation tarnished this way by some novice attorney from the boonies. Dramatic much? He looks about ready to burst from anger. Don't be such a sore loser. Get lost. Deal with it. Yeah, we got the right verdict. Doesn't that make you even a little bit glad? Yes, I suppose there is some worth in that. Really? What transpired is most unfortunate. I can only offer my condolences. Just remember that it was the meddling of that idiotic princess and the stupidity of that blasted detective that led to your arrest. So if you have any grievances, take it up with them. I suppose there's some truth in what he's saying. Speaking of that detective, it appears she has fled the room like a cuckoo on fire. Mark my words, she will regret what she has done for generations. The point-blank finger waggle is great. Well, that sure was something. I don't know if he's being sincere or just wanting to shift blame onto someone else. I wouldn't say he's entirely blameless. Never mind that. Do you think you'll be alright running the ranch by yourself? Of course I'll come visit, but I have my attorney duties too. I'll get in touch with the castle, see if they can spare some men to work at the ranch. Silly as my father may have seemed, he really did prepare me to take over one day, and he's taught me well. I'll make sure the animals are well cared for, as I always have. That's the spirit, I believe in you. I really want to thank you for bringing the truth to light. If it wasn't for you, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. Don't mention it. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. And so ended a very personal case for me. It felt like a weight had been lifted off my back. Malin continued working on at the ranch, hoping to make it prosper even beyond what her father was able to accomplish. I didn't really think much about it, but the days following were some of the happiest I've ever lived for a long time. Little did I know that a terrible tragedy would soon shock the entire kingdom, and I'd find myself smack dab in the middle of it. But that's a legend for another day. Nice. Quest complete. So, does that mean they're making a sequel? Whoa. Why are the guards wearing booty shorts? What? Wait, Anju is a... What? Azora and Anju are prosecutor and defense attorneys? It makes sense that the Inoku is there. Because they're hateful little creatures. Now bro has permanent Sag mask. Why are the guards wearing booty shorts? Wait. Like the verbal lashing, it seems. Ah, Impa has a cat! Nice. Why are poisonous mushrooms growing by his grave? Also, those, for some, like Minecraft mushrooms for some reason.